We've seen a few showers occurring over the interior over the last 24 hours or so, with a large band of mid-level cloud extending over the interior on Sunday, but with most of that moisture situated along the eastern Cape Coast, resulting in mostly cloudy weather with showers throughout Sunday. On our satellite, you'll also see a low spinning up in a clockwise direction off the KwaZulu-Natal coast, with that onshore flow bringing in cloud and possibly even rainfall in the second part of the day. Overnight, we're expecting rain along the eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal coast, but with fine and dry weather over the western part of South Africa and great viewing conditions for the largest and brightest full moon of 2014, partly cloudy in the northeast, but you should still be able to see that supermoon in between the cloud. Now, overnight, we're expecting a band of thunder showers to form over the central interior, and we're still expecting rain along the eastern Cape Coast on Monday, with a band of thunder showers forming between the northwest and through to the southeastern and eastern interior, partly cloudy in the northeast with a sunny and warm forecast over the western and southern part of South Africa. Overnight, we're expecting up to a 40% chance of rainfall along the eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal coast, with isolated thunder showers forming over the western part of the Free State and eastern northern Cape overnight. Our wind map shows light and variable winds still along the west coast as we head into the start of the work week, with light winds also expected over the eastern interior, but with that northeasterly wind forming along the eastern Cape and eventually KwaZulu-Natal coast, with windy conditions along the eastern Cape coast with strong winds in the forecast. Overnight, we're expecting mild conditions along the eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal coastline, with minimum temperatures dropping into the mid-teens, freezing for Sutherland, around 5 degrees for Kimberley and Bethlehem, 13 for Bombela and George, and Uppington dropping to 6 degrees overnight. It'll be a relatively warm day along South Africa's coastline, 24 for Port Elizabeth and Cape Town, 25 for Durban and East London, with a high of around 20 degrees for Gauteng, 23 as we head into Kimberley and George, and Bombela expecting a high of 22. Now, after the thunder showers, we're expecting dry weather on Tuesday with sunny and warm conditions along the east coast, with daytime highs in the upper 20s, partly cloudy and mild in the northeast, with a warm day for Cape Town on Tuesday, but with the cold front cooling things off on Wednesday and bringing in the possibility of rainfall. However, hot conditions are expected ahead of that front between Port Elizabeth and Richards Bay. That's all from the Weather Centre for now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.